My wealthy CEO wife kicked me out after believing her sister's lies. 3 weeks later, she asked if I had reflected. Instead, I handed her the divorce papers, sending her sister into a full meltdown. My name is Marcus Hale, and until 3 months ago, I was living what most people would call the American dream. I'm a decent-looking guy with a solid career in project management, and I was married to Clara Whitmore. Yes, that Whitmore. Her face is on the cover of Forbes every other month. She's the CEO of Whitmore Luxury Real Estate, a company that practically owns half the prime property from Manhattan to the Hamptons. When people found out I was married to her, their jaws would drop. On paper, we were perfect. She brought the money, the power, the connections that could open any door. I brought stability, reliability, and what she used to call a charming everyman quality. In other words, I was the normal guy who kept her grounded. Our wedding photos looked like they belonged in a magazine. Her penthouse overlooked Central Park, with floor-to-ceiling windows that made you feel like you were floating above the city. The marble kitchen island cost more than most people's cars, and the wine cellar held bottles worth more than my college tuition. Clara used to joke that marrying me was the best investment she ever made. I thought she meant it in a sweet, romantic way. Turns out, she didn't. Our fairy tale took a sharp turn into nightmare territory because of Clara's younger sister, Sabrina. If Clara was the golden child, Sabrina was the family's professional disappointment, wrapped in designer clothes and a nasty attitude. At 28, she was unemployed by choice and had turned living off her sister into an art form. Clara paid for her apartment, her credit cards, her gym, her therapy, even her organic juice cleanses. From day one, Sabrina looked at me like something she'd stepped in during a walk through the park. At every family dinner or holiday gathering, she'd give me this look, like she was calculating how much of Clara's money I was going to cost them. Sabrina had a special talent for making her poison sound like concern. "Clara, honey," she'd say, her voice dripping with fake worry. "Don't you think Marcus seems a little too comfortable with your lifestyle? It's sweet how he's adapted so quickly." And Clara, brilliant as she was in business, would just nod along as if Sabrina was offering wisdom instead of planting grenades. Dinner conversations became my own personal hell. Clara would be discussing a multi-million-dollar deal while sipping wine that cost more than most people make in a week. I try to contribute, all while feeling like my middle-class background was written all over my face. And Sabrina would sit there with that smirk, a smirk that said she knew something we didn't. "Marcus, tell us about your day," she'd say with fake sweetness, making it sound like she was asking me to explain rocket science to a toddler. "Nothing too stressful, I hope. We wouldn't want you getting overwhelmed." The subtext was always clear: you don't belong here. Slowly, I watched Clara change. The woman who used to look at me like I'd hung the moon started studying me like a puzzle. Her laugh became polite instead of genuine. "How was your day, sweetheart?" Turned into, "What exactly did you accomplish today?" The shift was subtle, but it was there. I was being cross-examined by a prosecutor who'd already decided I was guilty. Sabrina was a master manipulator. She never outright accused me of anything that would have been too obvious. Instead, she'd plant little seeds of doubt that burrowed into Clara's brain. "I just worry about you, Clara," she'd whisper during their sisterly bonding sessions. "You're so trusting. Some people might take advantage of that." Clara, who could spot a bad business deal from a mile away, couldn't see that her own sister was playing her. I tried talking to Clara about it once. Big mistake. She looked at me like I'd accused Sabrina of running a meth lab. "Sabrina loves me, Marcus. She's just looking out for me. Maybe if you tried harder to understand